For centuries, museums were seen mainly as containers of art, culture, and history. Their buildings were often traditional, monumental, sometimes even intimidating. But in the late 20th century, something shifted. Museums themselves started to become works of art, architectural icons that attract millions of visitors, not just for what's inside, but for the structures themselves. Today we'll explore how museum architecture transformed from neutral background walls to global landmarks, from the Guggenheim Bilbao to the Louvre Abu Dhabi. We'll see how buildings became part of the cultural experience. The turning point. Guggenheim Bilbao. The story really begins in 1997 in a small industrial city in northern Spain, Bilbao. Frank Gehry's Guggenheim Museum was unlike anything the world had seen before. With its titanium curves and futuristic design, it didn't just house art, it was art. This phenomenon became known as the Bilbao effect. Practically overnight, Bilbao transformed from a struggling post-industrial town into a global tourist destination. Millions of visitors came, not only for the museum's exhibitions, but simply to experience the building itself. This proved a radical idea. A museum's architecture could drive economic growth, put a city on the map, and redefine cultural tourism. Modern icons, Louvre Pyramid and Tate Modern. Of course, the Bilbao Guggenheim wasn't the only turning point. Just a few years earlier, Paris witnessed a major controversy. The glass pyramid at the Louvre, designed by I.M. Pei in 1989. At first, many Parisians hated it. They said it was too modern, too disruptive. But over time, it became not only accepted but beloved, now an inseparable symbol of the Louvre and of Paris itself. Meanwhile, in London, the Tate Modern reinvented what a museum could be. Herzog and de Meuron transformed a former power station into one of the most visited modern art museums in the world. Its massive turbine hall, once filled with machinery, now hosts monumental contemporary art installations. This wasn't just adaptive reuse. It showed that museums could embody transformation and the creativity at the level of the building itself. The Starchitect Era. By the 2000s, commissioning famous architects to design museums became the norm. These buildings were no longer just functional spaces, but cultural statements. In Rome, Zaha Hadid designed the MAXXI Museum. All flowing lines and dynamic forms, almost like the building itself is moving. In Abu Dhabi, Nouvel created the Louvre Abu Dhabi, crowned with a spectacular dome known as the Rain of Light. Thousands of geometric perforations create an ever-changing play of sunlight inside. In Berlin, Daniel Libeskind's Jewish Museum cut through the city's urban fabric with sharp, jagged lines embodying absence and trauma in built form. And in Paris, Frank Gehry returned with the Fondation Louis Vuitton, a building of glass sails that look as though they are floating in the Bois de Boulogne. Each of these museums tells a story not just through the art they exhibit, but through the architecture itself. The buildings becomes a part of visitors' emotional and intellectual experience. Today, museums are more than just houses for collections. They are destinations, experiences, and symbols of cultural identity. From Bilbao to Abu Dhabi, they show how architecture can elevate art or even become art in its own right. So let me ask you, when you visit a museum, do you go mainly for the art inside or for the building itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this journey, check out my channel for other videos. The link is right here. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.